Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again. Today's video, I got a little bit of explaining to do because in my last video, I talked about how I never planned on filming my competition, how I was embarrassed by my own strength, and I also want to tell you guys where I plan on going for the rest of this year. So as far as the competition goes, I didn't film it and I didn't plan on filming it for a long time out. In fact, when I first signed up for that meet, I think 8 weeks in advance or so, I told Travis, my buddy who also competed in that competition, that I wasn't even planning on bringing my camera. So I knew going into it I wasn't going to film. A big reason behind this is meet day brings a lot of anxiety for me. I really worry about how I'm going to perform, especially when it comes to squats and depth, how I'm going to weigh in, if I'm going to make my weight class, depending on how much I weigh at the time, and most importantly, how my bulge is going to look in a singlet. You really got to pay a lot of attention to that, and you got to be careful because when you chalk up your hands, everyone knows when you've done some adjusting. But that being said, never really planned on filming for this meet in particular because I was traveling. I didn't have friends or family, significant others there to help man the camera, so to say. I just didn't really want to worry about getting any sweet angles. Also, I could just make a sweet montage for YouTube. You know, my goal going into this was very specific. It was to go 9 for 9, hit a qualifying total, and just build momentum going into the next training cycle, and not just get the best footage possible in order to make a YouTube video. Now, luckily enough for me, many people in attendance there gave me some clips, so I was able to salvage a montage, which I think ended up turning out pretty good, so appreciate it again. Another reason I didn't really want to film, and the main reason is I was simply embarrassed by my own strength, and I know that's probably laughable for many of you out there, depending on where you are in your own lifting careers. I get people all the time commenting about how strong I am, which I definitely am not. I look at other people lifting and I think I have a long way to go. In fact, I know I have a long way to go. So I don't consider myself strong necessarily, but what I'm talking about being embarrassed by strength is from where I was. So in 2015, I competed twice. In both meets, I set both total PRs in weights lifted as well as in individual lifts. I was building a lot of great momentum, feeling really good about myself. Then 2016 came along and things just kind of hit the wall. I felt terrible about the way my training was going. I was getting hurt. My numbers were regressing significantly. I was just in a bad mental place. So I had some momentum going into the meet in Columbus. I had about 10 weeks of training that were really going well, but not well enough to get me back where I was. So even though I was very confident going into this meet, I knew I was not going to be setting any PRs. In fact, I knew even if I went 9 for 9, I would still be roughly 50 pounds under my last total. So it's tough for me to film stuff and put stuff out there when I know it's not at my top level. And of course, I don't have a problem showing you guys failures or things of that nature, but I just really wanted to focus here on trying to get better and get stronger and not worry about having to explain to people why my strength has significantly decreased, even though I do a good job making excuses in all of these videos. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense. All right, so now that you know where I'm coming from, let's talk about where I plan on going. And one of the big things that's been on my mind recently is what I'm going to do with my own body weight. Now, part of that is living by the beach and it being right near summer. Another part of that is watching all these YouTube series on cutting. And part of it makes me think I need to get shredded as well. But for this past competition, I weighed in at 220 pounds, which is actually a couple of pounds over my normal body weight for the rest of this prep. And I really attest that to the fact that Travis and I hit up a few eateries that were on Man vs. Food the night before, and it was totally worth losing a couple of points on my Wilks score in order to enjoy some of that food. Great places in Columbus. But that being said, I've also been utilizing the sponsor of this video, which is Vanity Planet, and their product, which is this digital body analyzer. I'm sure by now you guys have probably seen this on other channels. It's great because not only can you track weight on it, which I've been doing, but also it gives you a rough idea of your body fat percentage, your bone density, all sorts of different things, and you can input your own statistics, male, female, athletic or not, and your own height to really kind of cater the results to you. So this has been really helping me. I do appreciate them sending this to me. If you're interested, they're running a promo on it. You can actually use Campbell Fit, which sounds like a sweet Instagram name, which I probably should have used instead of Campbell Fitness, but you'll get it for 50 bucks instead of the normal 120. So big discount on that if you're interested. I like the scale a lot. Pretty clean and modern looking as well, which is always nice. So I think my own plan is to continue to monitor my weight and slowly increase my calories. I don't think I want to be at 231 on the dot because for my next competition, I don't want to have to worry about losing weight for it. But I think I will try to increase my weight to more of the 225 to 227 range in a slow, controlled manner and not just eat all the mayo you've seen in other videos and just really gain weight quickly. So that's roughly my plan as far as my body weight goes. So that can lead to the question, what about competing? What's my plan? Well, as I mentioned in the other video, I would like to do USAPL Raw Nationals, which is taking place in October in Atlanta, Georgia. A very strong suspicion I'm supposed to be in Seattle around that time, so hopefully I can work things out. If that's the case, that puts me roughly 23 weeks out, which is plenty of time for about 2 training cycles and hopefully another competition or some sort of mock meet in between in the interim. So that's my plan going forward. Again, I have to really hope that everything works out with my schedule and work, but it's looking like it could be pretty good and could get the chance to meet a lot of you because you guys know I don't go to conventions because I'm not very good at being pleasant when it comes to reviewing other things and companies involving supplements and or training. But if you guys have questions on that or anything else, leave them in the comment section below. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.